Alright, filling up for a long road trip ahead. We've got 2 hours and 25 minutes. We're heading to Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Alright, today we're on our way to go pick up a Banshee. I haven't owned a Banshee in probably a few years, so this can be pretty fun. I found one up for $4,000. Typically the Banshees go from like 6 to 7 to 8K in my area, so they're really high in price right now. This one is in Eau Claire, so I'll have to drive about 2.5 hours to go get it, but that's fine. I'm not doing anything today anyway, so gonna enjoy the ride and go check this thing out. I offered 35 right away. The guy said if you come today, you know, you can have it for 35. So we're gonna get there and just kind of check it out, see what happens. I guess he took it on trade for something else, and he's only owned it like a week. But he said it absolutely rips in the ad, so we will see when we get there. A couple questions for you. So the front brakes don't work then?
I don't know, I downshift. I never use front brakes.
Okay.
I was assuming they did.
Okay, so yeah, those don't work. And the rear brake, yeah, you told me the rear brake didn't work, so.
Yeah, I downshifted. I actually traded 2 quads for this. So.
Oh, what'd you trade?
I had a DVX 400.
Okay, yeah.
That was rebuilt, and then I had I was a new crank, and I had 2 of them, exact same year and model, but I was rebuilding the motor on the other one.
Okay. So you took the parts one and the one that worked.
Well, see, I bought a brand new top end for it, and I was trying to time it, and I went in there to turn the crank to get it on top dead center, and damn bolt snapped right off on me. So then I had to buy a new.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was like, really? So then I bought a new crank off of eBay, and I was in the midst of rebuilding it, and then I was just like, hey, you know, I'll ask this guy, why not? You know, and he loves 4-strokes. He already owned like 5 LTZ 400s, so he was just like, yeah, man, you know, whatever.
Yeah, cool.
So, and like I said, I smashed my truck, so getting that out of impound today, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. So
okay.
I had too many Mustangs projects. I mean,
cool.
It just is what it is. I don't even know if I'll have time this summer to even ride it, so kind of figured, you know, get rid of it for somebody who would enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. So, he said it was rebuilt then?
Yeah.
So full rebuild?
He said there was 5 hours on the rebuild.
Okay. Top and bottom end, you said?
Yep. I don't know if he broke it in. I never asked.
Okay.
To be on the safe side, I'd break her in slowly. I mean, but 5 hours. I'm not sure. What is it? 8 hours? 8 to 16 hours before they're actually broken in, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and like I said, he came from Minnesota, so I had titles for mine, but it's from Wisconsin. I don't know what Minnesota regulations are, if they even have them.
Where's the VIN on this, you know?
So it should be on the block or the frame somewhere. Usually on the side by the motors, I think. We'd have to lift it up probably. It's gotta be somewhere on here. As I bought it for the other one. They're like what, $20.
Yeah.
The shock I'm pretty sure you could get for like 30 on eBay. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. As long as the motor runs, you can always work around it.
It's just the VIN, and it's all around. No brakes are on it. The shock is bad. It's rusty. You know.
Right.
I've got 25 cash with me. That's all I can offer because of all the stuff.
I could do 27.
I don't think I can do 27. It needs a lot of work.
Right. If it wasn't snowing, yeah, I'll take 25. If it wasn't snowing, you see that red Mustang over there? I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I didn't.
That's what I'm driving to work.
Oh, really?
A rear-wheel drive Ford GT Mustang.
A little rough.
All it's been doing last week is snowing for 4 days straight.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna go in the ditch or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a red pickup truck with just rear wheel drive. Horrible. So light in the back. It was just like this the whole way.
I got 400 pounds of sandbags in the back of that thing.
Yeah.
And it's a Mustang and it's killing me.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right, we got the Banshee. She's a little rough, but I got the guy to come down $1,000 on it. So we got her for 25. He said his car was impounded, or his truck was, so he needed the money. So he took the 25. And honestly, that was a good deal. You guys will see when we get home. She's pretty rough. I couldn't find the VIN, but looking at it a little bit closer, I think I saw some lettering coming through the paint. So I might just have to scrape off some of the paint and see if we can find that VIN. I think I saw some lettering. We'll see. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get a different frame for it that's titled. But yeah, it's not horrible. It started up first kick when warm, so that's not too bad. But it is a 95, I believe, just based on the color scheme and everything. But we don't know until we get that VIN number checked out. So we'll get home. We'll go over the whole thing. All right, we finally made it home. It's already getting dark. Oh man, that was a long car ride. Here it is. Doesn't look too bad for 25. It's got the ITP wheels. Not a huge fan of those, but they look pretty nice on there. Tires aren't too bad. Got the whole shots in the back. And in the front. Wow. Spent some money on the wheels. The pipe, I'm not sure what it's called. It's like a, we'll have to look at it. Dyno something. 2-in-1. Seat was recovered. Pro taper bars. Looks like the headlights are aftermarket, unfortunately. Has a grab bar. Brakes don't work. But we'll get this thing unloaded and take a closer look. We'll walk around here. Looks better in the camera than in person, I can tell you that. All right, we got her in the shop and I just wiped off the plastics. Looking pretty clean actually. So I think these are newer plastics for it. You can see GYTR, Yamaha Technology Racing. And then the plastics up here are definitely new too. And it's got the Balls Out Racing graphics kit from goforitgraphics.com. You can see right there. It looks like a decal. It used to be right there. They peeled off of it. And then the seat cover is Attack Graphics seat cover. Got the Pro Taper handlebar pad right here. And then you've got the tag bars. And then it looks like you've got Pro Taper grips. And here, clutch is working. The brakes don't work at all, but there is a speed line, or two of them, braided line on here. But I'm not sure what these are from. They're green and blue. Are these like from a Blaster or something? Or like from a different Banshee? I'm not sure. But it's just weird that they're green and blue. Kind of a hodgepodge. But then you've got the ITP wheels. And then the whole shot tires. All of them are whole shot. Really nice. Then you've got the dyno port 2-into-1 pipe. And then full exhaust system. Dyno port silencer as well. The headlights look like they're aftermarket as well. I'm thinking like new aftermarket ones. They look like stock ones, but I think those are new. I mean, they're not scratched up or anything at all, so they're pretty nice. But yeah, looking over it again, it really doesn't look that bad. I'm thinking I got a pretty good deal. But we'll have to test compression and all of that. Let's see, are the carbs genuine on there? I didn't even check that. Supposedly it's rebuilt, full rebuild on it. That's what the guy said. We'll have to check the oil too. Little hand compression test. Feels like there's compression. These are aftermarket as well. These little fins. It does shift through all the gears. Let's just quick go through it. I did shift through it when I was there, just to make sure. I did not ride it yet. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So it does shift through all the gears pretty smoothly. Let's see what these carbs are in here. Just kind of looking here. I'm not seeing where it was rebuilt though. Usually you'd be able to see different colored gaskets unless, you know, they didn't use new gaskets or they just used like stock ones. Not sure. Carbs. Yep, Mikuni carbs. You can see Mikuni right there. And it looks like it does have these sensors up here. Missing the chain guard. Or the engine case saver guard. That goes right here. And then the VIN is not on here. So I don't know if this thing's stolen or not. We'll have to apply a little bit of paint stripper. I'm thinking, because the VIN should be right here on it, we'll apply a little bit of paint stripper and just see if we can get down to the VIN. I'm thinking it was just painted over at one point. We've got some of this. Just gonna shake this up. If it's spray painted, this will come right off. No big deal. It looks like the original paint to me. But maybe not. Maybe somebody just touched it up with something and it covered that VIN. Alright, we've got that lubed up there. So we'll let that sit for about 30 minutes. Come back and see if we can peel off that paint and get to the VIN. Alright, let's check out the air filter. Take off the seat here. Seat latch and everything works, that's good. Alright, cool. So at least there's a filter in here. Oh, it's not really attached down to anything. Usually I think the cover holds that in place. So if you had a cover, it would keep it from moving. But yeah, so we're gonna have to look for a cover for this thing. Banshee box cover. Otherwise that's just gonna move around. And obviously the seat isn't low enough, it sits right here. So it's not gonna hold that in place. So one thing we need is that cover for the air box. You can see the carbs right in there. It looks like all the lines were replaced with new lines. You can see all the yellow lines here, on here. So maybe it was rebuilt, I don't know. But I guess we'll try to start it up here and just see if it starts up. And then we're gonna change the oil for sure, just to see what that looks like. If it's brand new oil, it might be rebuilt. Head it off. Fluid at the track. Lights don't work, they're not hooked up. So we have to fix those too. Smoking a good amount. Alright, so it sounds pretty good. Smoking enough, revs out. It just needed a little bit of this to get going. So I'm guessing pilots are probably clogged up a little bit, which is to be expected if it sat for any period of time. So we'll probably have to go through the carbs before the first ride here. But yeah, not bad. Sounds pretty decent. Let's get that oil drained and see what that looks like. We'll get some fresh oil in there. Now that the engine is nice and warm, the bolt for the drain, the oil drain, is right here. So we'll get that loosened up and we'll see what that oil looks like. Hopefully it's not full of metal. So the bolt down here is 17 millimeters. Alright, that looks like brand new oil. So the guy wasn't kidding. I think it was rebuilt. Look at that. Looks like brand new oil coming out of there. Alright, it's done draining. Let's quick inspect the oil. You can see that looks pretty clean. Looks pretty new. There's not a whole lot in there though. It should have about a quart and a half, 1500 milliliters. So we're a little low on the oil. So good thing we checked it. I don't know why it would be so low. Alright, let's check it with the dipstick here. We let it run for a little bit, and you can see it's right at the high mark. So the manual calls that it should be between the high mark and the low mark, and we're right at the high mark. So we're just going to leave that. We're not going to put any more oil in. We don't want to overfill it, I know that. So we're going to leave it right there. At least we know we've got fresh oil in it now. Alright, we're going to quick check compression on both cylinders, so let's get these spark plugs out. I went ahead and bought brand new NGK plugs, BR8ES. So we're going to replace the plugs and check compression. Alright, let's try to get these plugs out of here. Oh man, those are on there. Oh, looks like it was running okay. It's not too black. Let's see what that spark looks like too. Gotta get the other one out. Those plugs were in there. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, it's not too bad. This one is BR8ES, so I got the same plugs. We'll put a couple fresh ones in there. That one's still smoking out of there. You can see. So let's just see if we're getting some good spark out of here. Probably turn it on. Oh, that is amazing spark. Spark is awesome on them. The Banshee, you want over 120 psi on each cylinder. So we're gonna do throttle open on the left first. See what we get. Hopefully it's pretty good. The guy said he doesn't even know if the guy broke it in yet, so I mean, you'd think the rings would be seated by now. We'll see. See what we get. We're hoping for over 120. That would be awesome. See what we got here. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. About 140. So that is good to go on that cylinder. So left cylinder is good. So far no metal shavings. And so far good compression on one cylinder. Hopefully the next one's good. Feels really smooth in there too. cylinder next. See what we get. Again, throttle open. It'll stay there. It's not staying there. Same thing, 140. Wow, very consistent. 140 on both of them. So compression checks out way over 120 on each one, so compression's good. All right, so far this is looking like a good buy. Compression's good, oil checks out. Let's work on the brakes a little bit. We've got no rear and no front brakes at all. You can see nothing. This master cylinder actually looks brand new, and the brake lines look brand new. So I'm wondering if you just never put fluid in there. And these look a little bit rough down here, the calipers and the brakes, but we'll see. So we'll put some fluid in here and see if we can bleed these and at least get one of the brakes to work. And then we'll work on the back brake, and hopefully we can get that to work too. If we can, that would be awesome. Who thinks there's fluid in there? It looks like there might be a little bit through the window. But maybe it was never bled. You can tell this is new because the screws aren't rusted out on the cover here. Yeah, look how nice that is in there. Yeah, there's no fluid at all. We might get lucky again. Zero fluid in there. Completely empty. Looks like it might pump too. Bleeds itself right away. Which it might do. Doesn't look like it's, oh, it might be going down already. I think it might be. Okay, we'll pump that through the system. Try to bleed these brakes. We might have to go down by the caliper and break that bleeder screw. Let's just see if it pumps through here. See the bubbles coming up. That usually means the pump is working. All right, 1 minute later, these brakes already bled themselves. So look at that, nice and tight. Now we've got brakes. So front brakes are fixed. Just didn't have any fluid in there. I don't know why. There's no leaking. So that's just really, really weird. But again, getting lucky. All right, on to the rear brake situation here. As you can see, the bolt fell out from right here. That's where a bolt should go in. You can kind of see down here. Not really sure what happened. Then a bolt fell out right here. So we've got to get a new bolt like that one in here. But it looks like this does move up and down at least. All right, I think we found one that works here. Yeah, it seems to grab pretty good. Tighten this one back up. Doesn't appear to be. Got zero fluid in there too. So I don't know what's going on with the brakes not having any brake fluid in them. Kind of strange. All right, we got the bolt right in here with a lock nut on there. Now it's just missing that spring. So I think we found one for it. You can see the spring goes from here to here. So I believe this one will work for it. So that's working. Put a little bit in. All right, who thinks it's gonna pump here? Let's see if there's any bubbles come out. Doesn't appear to be pumping. Crack that bleeder screw. See if anything comes out. Wonder what's going on with this thing. Oh, it must not be pumping at all. Oh, it's coming. I heard something. It's pumping. Alright, we finally got fluid to come out of here. We're just gonna bleed the system now. Get all the air out. Feels pretty good already. Awesome. All right, rear brakes are fixed as well. All right, now both brakes are working. So let's start working on the headlights. You can see they're just unplugged right there. And they're supposed to connect into here. So it looks like the guy just never did it. So what we're gonna do is put connectors like this onto this end. And just plug those right in. All right, we're just gonna snip off these. All of these right here. And then we'll just strip those wires. And then put connections on them. Looks like this guy must have rebuilt the Banshee and then just didn't want to finish it up. It's kind of what it seems like. So we've got the connections like this. It's gonna mount on there. All right, we're gonna do white to yellow, blue to black, and then green to green. All right, let's see if these lights work. Oh yeah. All right, lights are working. We just have to do the other side, and then those will be good to go. All right, both headlights are working. We've got the brakes working, the headlights working. Now let's move on to the carburetor clean. All right, let's try to get this left carb off of here first. Take off the gas line here. Let that drip out here. Oh, there's a lot of gas in there. Didn't realize that. All right. Get this off. I'm guessing these pilots are clogged because it's kind of hard starting. There we go. Doesn't look like these are even hooked up. Nope, they're not. So those aren't hooked up at all. Huh. That is interesting. Very, very interesting. So I wonder if you can just bypass those like that by just not hooking them up. Seems kind of weird, doesn't it? This one's not hooked up either. Huh. I guess you can just bypass them like that. But here's the carburetor, we got it out. Let's start digging into that. All right, looks like we've got the updated Allens on the carburetor here. Get those off of here. It's kind of nice. Wow, those are looking pretty clean. I don't know, they look like they were just cleaned out. Wow, really clean. Let's see, the main jet. The main jet is a 280. We'll have to see what they're supposed to be, but there's a 280 in there right now. Let's get the pilot out. Let's see if that's clogged. Pilot is, let's see, what are you, dude? 25. Looks like a new pilot. And pilot was pretty clogged. Yeah, pilot's clogged. So it is in fact a clogged pilot that was causing the hard starting. So that's good, at least we know what it was. Let's get the main jet out. They look kind of like they're new jets in here. We're at 1, a little bit more than 1 3/4 turns out on the air screw. There's a spring. Those holes are clear in there. Looking pretty good. We'll blow everything out anyway. Yeah, it wasn't too dirty. Just that little pilot jet was clogged. But we'll blow this out, put some carb clean in there, and that carb's gonna be good to go. All right, carb number 2. That looks pretty clean in there. That looks good. Let's see what we have in this jet for the main. Again, 280. So at least they match up. And then let's see, for the pilot, let's see if it's clogged today. Pilot is a 25 and it is not as clogged as the other one, but it was still a little bit clogged. All right, this one's looking probably a little bit cleaner than the other one. Let's see how many turns out the air screw is. 1, exactly 2. The other one was a little bit less than 2. There's a spring. Float looks good. Everything looks pretty good in this. That was clear. Those look good. All right, we'll blow this one out, and then both carbs will be cleaned out. All right, we got the carbs back in. Let's drain the gas out of here. I'm not sure what kind of gas was in there or what kind of mix was in there, so drain it and we'll put 40-1 in. So we'll let this drain and then we'll mix up some 40-1. Looks like it was mixed pretty rich though. Pretty blue in color. All right, 40-1 pre-mix going in. All right, let's see if she fires right up now. All right, just gonna check the coolant level here before we take it for the first ride. Shouldn't be hot, I wouldn't think. Oh, not much coolant in it. Oh, I guess I can see it, but you can see it's not topped off, but there's some in there when you move it, so it's not too low. All right, I went ahead and just added a little bit of coolant, so that's now topped off. Get that back on. All right, just gonna hit some of these grease fittings on here. There was like nothing in this one. And then we'll go around and clean off all those fittings, just so that we don't get a bunch of grime packing up on it. All right, everything looking pretty good. I don't think I missed any grease fittings. There should be a swing arm bolt one, but there's not. All right, everything's good to go. All right, I think it's time to go test drive this thing, see how she goes. Alright, we made it out to the land here. It snowed a couple inches last night, so we have fresh powder. We're gonna have to make a track and kind of pack it down along the edge of the land, because right now we're just gonna be sliding in this stuff with two-wheel drive. I would make a track with the skid steer, but my tire fell off. You guys saw that last video, or a couple videos ago. It must have been flat and I drove it and it peeled the tire right off the skid steer. So I'm gonna have to get that back on. We took it for a little test drive at my house and it was going pretty good. So hopefully this thing will rip through the snow here. Alright, it's a little tough riding in this snow. Hopefully we can follow the path of the honcho here. But this thing's running great so far. There's not really a good way to break it in the snow, you know? Sounds pretty cool. Let the pipe get hot. Here we go. We're just gonna try to get through the snow first. We're just spinning. Once we get a path made, we should be fine. And then the ground's frozen, so it's just ice. Can't grip it at all. It's really not great. We're spinning pretty good. Really not liking it. She is not liking that. Way too deep of snow. But if it's not broken in yet, then it won't ever be. Man, it's taking abuse today. I mean, look at how deep these tracks are that this thing had to go through. That's why it's not working out too well. Look how deep that is. It's almost bottoming out on the snow. So, yeah. But we'll ride it once it warms up here and the snow melts a little bit more. All right, just got back home and I was able to get the paint off right here, and I still don't see a VIN number. I don't feel anything, I don't see anything. So I don't know if this was repainted at one point and they sandblasted it off or what the deal is, but there's nothing there. And I believe it's supposed to be right there. And I checked everything. Nothing. Can't feel anything, can't see anything. So I'm thinking it's not there. And I looked around the frame for other places where it could be, and there's just nothing. So I'm not really sure what the year is. I know you can kind of tell based on the taillight. And then I guess the 1994 to 1995 had like a square CDI plug. That looks pretty square to me. So I'm thinking it's 1995 still. Then it's got the pink shocks. But yeah, it's just a bummer we don't have that VIN number. But we're gonna keep on searching for it, see if we can find it, and I'll do some research and look into it a little bit further. But that's a video on the 1995 Yamaha Banshee. I think it was a pretty good deal for 2,500 bucks. It's running great, driving great. It's just we had way too much snow to drive this thing, so we weren't really able to see its full potential. But once it gets a little bit warmer out, we'll take this thing out again and really rip it, test her out. But for 2,500 bucks, a running, driving Banshee, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.